Well, weather changed overnight. It is clear and cold today. It was below freezing. It's warmed up now that the sun's up. What a nice day, and what a view up here. I'm standing on the top of a cliff that I hiked into. Keep in mind, there's no trail here. This is all boondock and just going up into, well, going up to wherever I want to go. But I went up on high today into this area that I hadn't been before, just to see what the view was like. Nice spot. Well, look at here. A watering hole. Who would have figured, out in the middle of a big, long, flat, dry field like this, that there'd actually be a little oasis, a watering hole for the critters. And they've been using it too. Plenty of tracks. Well, it was a long morning. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon right now, and I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go get something to eat.
Chewing on a piece of grass, walking down the road. Tell me how long you gonna stay here, Joe. This town don't look good in the snow. Thanks a lot, I know. Ventura Highway in the sun. No hiking or hunting today outside. It is miserable. Started raining last night. Woke me up drumming on the top of the van. It's been raining ever since. And it's cold too. It's about 40 degrees. I'm in a pretty cool spot though. If there would be a break in the rain, I'd step outside with the camera and kind of show you. And I'm the only one up here. But I guess I'm the only one crazy enough to be up here. But I'm just going to, practice my guitar, and then I'm going to break out the computer and start looking at some footage and maybe start editing and putting together a video for this trip up here in the
the little belts. I noticed that I was having a lot of water coming in here, like the seal of my back door here wasn't tight. I thought it was just because the wind is blowing this way, the rain's blowing this way, and I thought that maybe the little gutter up on top of the back of the van was just getting overwhelmed, and so a lot of water was just kind of blowing in the top of the door. So I put a blue tarp, kind of shut a blue tarp into the door, thinking, all right, that'll shield the top of the door from rainwater blowing in. But all it did is it made it worse, just because that prevented the door from sealing even tighter because it had that tarp stuck in there. Hey, what an awesome day, huh? Here in September, the month of September in Montana. It was cold this morning. It's typical of up here in the mountains this time of year. Cold in the morning, and then by afternoon, when the sun is high, you know, you get up to, it's maybe 60. It's not warm, but it sure is nice. Interesting rock slide here where the creek's coming through, huh? quiet. It's a great feeling you get to be in a place like this alone, just kind of listening and observing what nature has to offer and what these spaces have to offer Americans. So much government land to explore, beautiful spaces. It's a nice morning. So I've been exploring this cut, which is formed by the base of this mountain here. Which I don't know if you can tell from the video, but it's very steep, almost straight down into the cut. And then over here, you basically have a forested long finger that comes off the very top all the way down into here. And in this cut, it's very cool and damp. A place the animals would love to come in on hot days. And there's certainly a lot of sign in here. But on a warm day like today, when the sun heats up the earth, the wind's going to be going up on the sides, but coming down through this cut, because this is cool, damp air in here. And it just makes its way down this cut. A lot of it is not navigable by foot. There's just too many blowdowns in here. But it's interesting that the elk with their tall legs, they can come in here and make game trails and get through. So there's a place where elk have been crossing right here. You can see their tracks. They've been going across here because it's not as steep, you know. Before you could see how steep it was, and now it's still steep, but there's this one area in here where they've been able to traverse up onto this other hillside. So let's go over there and we'll see if there's any elk sign up in there, up on that shaded hillside. The good thing about going up on this shaded hillside right now, I should say mountainside, is that it's in the shadows. It's real cool. So air is still sinking here. And I won't be winded. They won't scent me as I move my way up through here. A mama and two little ones.
She told me this right here. She said,
Like you love me. You come on. What was I thinking? It gives me great joy to explore these mountains. Over time, human instincts evolved by living in and with the natural world. And despite all of our advances in modern lifestyle, being alone in the backcountry, it flips a switch in me. It awakens primal feelings. It heightens my senses, and it drives me to explore my surroundings. Observing, listening, navigating, managing my noise, thinking, planning, it all contributes to like a continuous situational awareness going through my mind. That situational awareness and my woodsmanship, it suppresses any anxiety that typically would be present when you're alone in unfamiliar surroundings. There are some steps right here. And it had some kind of iron gate here to keep it locked up. And it looks like it had power coming off the old power line. I noticed that, the power line has obviously been modernized, but a lot of the old stuff still laying on the ground. And then inside there's a cook stove. Imagine the roof caved in due to snow load when things get rotten. I don't know if you can see it with the GoPro, but there's coat hooks in the back, on the back wall. It actually looks like it has some kind of phone system. At one point, there's a bell right there. And some switches. Not sure who stayed here, if this was a National Forest Service facility at some point or electrical company. Huh. Well, it's out here in the middle of nowhere in Montana. That's what it is. That electrical system is interesting with a little bell. They had some way of communicating on some kind of line. I wouldn't doubt it actually was owned by the electric company that first put the power line through here. And they needed somebody to tend it or whatever. It looks like they use cement as chinking. And the old roof, it gave way. Due to snow load at some point, I guess. And here was the privy. Yeah, I mean, look at the construction. This basic cabin building, tinker toy. Yep. Gotta have a place to go. Well, friends, I think this is going to wrap up another episode of Jim's Van and Life channel. I'm headed back to Priscilla to leave the Little Belts of Montana in search of a new adventure. And I hope you'll like and subscribe so that you can join me. I'm on my way to Canyonlands in Utah and then to Bryce Canyon. And I'll be putting out videos that I'm sure you don't want to miss. Thanks for being here.